Hail and well met. Welcome to the Dungeon Scrawlers stream featuring one of the Westgate Irregulars because this is a duet game, one DM, one player, and that is Artemisia as played by the ever talented Rhiannon Held. So, our intro is going to be a little bit different because there are only the two of us. So we're gonna split responsibilities about hyping things. Before Rhiannon tells you about her character, I'm going to tell you about a different character named Rhiannon because there's a book we are giving away called A Ragged Magic, which is book one of the Runebound series. And here's how it goes. The Runebound saga presents a world where magic is controlled by the oppressive Kirsch. That was my best attempt. And those who wield it are prized and feared as weapons of incalculable power. In this first volume, Rhiannon, a simple weaver's daughter, has her life turned upside down when her vision saved the life of the village pastor at the cost of his secrets. Forced into service by a corrupt oligarch, she gains allies, enemies, and power as she loses more and more of herself. Where you see Rhiannon has the sight, the ability to glimpse the hearts and minds of others. Her visions attract the attention of the powerful Kirsch, which has condemned all magic outside the holy orders. Branded a witch, her family executed, Rhiannon is handed over to a corrupt bishop with a political agenda of his own. But she is not without friends. She is saved from a terrible fate by the very people the bishop aims to destroy. Thrust into intrigue and danger, Rhiannon must learn to control her growing power and master a ragged magic. Available in paperback and ebook from ourusentertainment.com. You can get there by clicking in the doobly-doo and wherever quality books are sold. What I don't have written down is the name of the author, and I think that's listed somewhere down below.
Lindsay S. Johnson, isn't it?
Hey, that sounds right.
I know this person.
Excellent. Right. So one of those codes, I think is it bang giveaway? Is that what it is? Or is it enter?
Well, so one is exclamation point ticket and one is exclamation point enter, and you should do both because one is an awesome book and one is awesome dice.
Ooh.
I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. What about these awesome dice, Rhiannon? You have something to tell us?
So I am doing sponsors tonight, so I got to do our big one first.
Right.
Our sponsor is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels that Aaron wrote, that I did not write, but they're still awesome characters. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. That list may have changed slightly, but basically it's everywhere. You should try it. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. So our dice partners are North Foundry. NorthFoundry.com has gaming accessories and metal dice. And Phoenix Dice, which I believe is our giveaway, is recycled dice, recycled materials, and they're dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Awesome.
And I myself am Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held, and space opera is RZ Held. I think that it's been saying in chat my latest novella in the space opera series is out. You can check that out, or the first one's called Idyllian. It's great.
And I am Eric Scott to be back from my Gen Con / vacation. I'm sure the Dungeon Scrawlers did not wreck everything in my absence, and we're just going to have a totally normal time going forward. I'm sure you didn't give 1 million gold pieces out irresponsibly or something like that. That would just be beyond your beyond the pale. Anyway, tonight's game is a duet game between me, the DM, and Rhiannon playing Artemisia. We are going to delve into her character a bit, reconcile a few things that have been on the back burner, pay off a few story things, and perhaps further complicate the story going forward. Let's see how it goes. So, with that, Artemisia, you are at Briar House, commissioning repairs. Perhaps you're overseeing repairs. Briar House has been has suffered quite a bit in the last few years.
Yep.
Including your brother breaking a hole in the wall as an Earth Elemental.
Oh, ruin.
The other irregulars have gone off on their separate ways for the time being, and you are all alone this particular morning. I should note one thing is that your sister, Cecilia, and her very well-meaning boyfriend, Sargent, have gone off to parts unknown to work through some things, and thus they are not around.
And I assume they took the witch hut with them.
And they did indeed take the witch hut with them. Whether they took the Emerald Hourglass with them or not is something that we haven't yet determined. But let's just assume that that is not immediately available.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that.
Right. You have other pressing concerns, such as the weight of the roof pressing down on a house without all of its supportive walls. So, how have you gone about acquiring goods and resources and people to work on Briar House's repairs?
Well, there was this great guy, Euclid, who gave me a deal on building materials. So there's that. And then she's going to probably try hiring Xiao to do the work.
Okay.
And hopefully Simeon has any hair left from like pulling it out when she's like, yeah, we need to pay all these people and pay them well. So money needs to come from somewhere.
I suspect of the irregulars, Simeon is the least bothered by Artemisia. Like, at least
she tries
seems to have a good head on her shoulders,
Yeah.
and at least has the concept of things having a cost to them. So, you're overseeing repairs. It's very loud. There's lots of sawing, lots of hammering. If you're trying to read or, just have some tea in the garden, it's not working out very well. You're getting a lot of noise pollution. And as you are taking your repose, Charity comes up to you, carrying a little tray with a letter on it.
Okay.
Says, oh, this just arrived for you, my lady.
Oh, well, thank you.
She kind of bows to you and then heads a little bit aside, not leaving, but a little bit aside. Like she's waiting.
Did they ask for an answer?
Yeah. Oh, she says, perhaps. They seemed very excited to deliver the letter, and I just wanted to wait in case you had some response or other action you wanted to take. Should I leave you alone? I can get you more tea.
Well, I mean, so Artemisia is going to look see if she recognizes the sender first, because then she can say if she needs to have privacy.
The seal upon the letter is the mark of it's the mark of the Merchant Council, so you recognize that particular seal. It's kind of rough and like not great, because as you may recall, the Merchant Council burned to death mostly about a year ago when a certain devil child burned it all with burning hands. So the mark that they now have, the signet that they now have, is kind of a rough replica of that original Merchant Council official seal.
I see the house got some bling bling. That's awesome. Briar House, thanks you. So she's going to.
You hear a very excited voice from inside that says, "Oh, we found another bag of coins in the basement. Good. Now we can pay for all those rafters that we need to build." Anyway,
all shined up by Roomba. So Artemisia is going to sort of like beckon Charity closer because she looks kind of like about the whole thing, but she doesn't look like worried or anything that she'd need privacy to read it. She's just expecting that she's going to have to like deal with this, and so Charity might as well stay here.
Charity extends a small little dull knife to you as a letter opener.
Okay. Open it up.
Okay.
Or pop the seal or whatever. Yeah.
So the letter says it's something to the effect of Artemisia Terrorone of Briarhouse, hero of Westgate, Bronze Wolf, and adventurer, is hereby bestowed upon you the knowledge that you have received a nomination to be Cromark of Westgate.
She drops the letter.
Charity's like, is it good? Then she sees your face. Oh.
I wasn't touching it long. Maybe it can't infect me.
Charity picks it up and she scans through it and she says, "Oh, it's not so bad."
Who else, do you know any gossip? Who else is nominated? Is there somebody who really wants it? Because that would be great.
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of folk who would love to have that political power. As you know, since the Merchant Council was lost almost a year ago, the city has been essentially in anarchy, except for powerful merchant houses who can bring some order to the streets. But recently, there's been an attempt to institute a kind of, what do they call it? She scratches her horns trying to think of the word. Democracy. That's what it is. They're trying to institute this strange thing I've never heard of called a democracy. And apparently we as citizens get to vote.
No.
I don't know what that means either, but I cast my vote for you because you're my favorite person who was on the list. Did I do the wrong thing? I did the wrong thing, didn't I?
No, that's fine. So people have already voted?
Yes, there's this thing called a primacy. Primacy? The first ballots. And then you you appear to be one of 10 candidates.
Okay.
But your name's at the top of the list.
9 other people. All right.
I'm sure it's not alphabetical.
All right. So Artemisia's, does the letter include the list of the other 9?
It does.
Okay. Is there anybody that, like...
Anyone you recognize?
Yeah.
Well, you recognize...
Bless, I bet.
You recognize Regante Bless' name, yes.
Yep.
There are a couple of other noble houses that you may or may not recognize. Thorsar has a candidate. Aldragath has a candidate. There is a Shao sounding name that is one of the candidates. Mirren is on that list.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'll go tell Mirren she's got to do this.
Okay. So that's all the letter says. It doesn't have any action for you to take. It doesn't ask for a reply of any kind. Charity kind of turns over the letter, like turns it upside down. She's like, it doesn't say how to decline.
Well, I mean, they probably don't want you to be able to.
Oh, would you like me to burn the letter?
No, that won't help.
No.
I gotta go talk to Mirren.
Because if burning usually solves problems.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I'd have to burn everybody's ballots, and then that's no good. I don't want to take people's ballots away from them.
Fair enough.
Even though they don't... my name should have never been on there in the first place.
Shall I prepare the going to the wizard's tower dress?
So Artemisia is going to look sort of a little bit weird because she's not used to having a lady's maid. So, and she doesn't actually usually wear dresses. She usually wears leggings and a jacket with long tails.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be like, I got this.
Okay.
I don't think Charity has seen her wings. So that's another sort of thing to think
one
about.
Advantage of the shirts and coats is that they can keep those under wraps.
Well, she can like hide them.
Yeah.
She's figured out how to do that.
But if you get real excited, like, Charity says, "Oh yeah, this looks at Dawn sent over a number of dresses for you to try and give your thoughts on. I thought you might want to wear one of those. But I mean, your usual clothes are very lovely."
Yeah. Silks at Dawn. Shoot. Yeah, I will look at those, and then I'll go to talk to Mirren. And she's going to leave Charity with some directions about the work going on in the house. But then she's going to go up to her room to look at the dresses.
Good, my lady. Right. So you go check out the dresses. They are gorgeous, fashionable. A couple of them are like conceptually adventurous. Like these are pushing new boundaries of fashion and design.
So got to talk to Illyra about. Artemisia is going to bring Mitzi out. Because she doesn't leave Mitzi out around the house all the time.
Took you long enough.
Sorry, I thought since you couldn't that you had to stick around the house, you wouldn't want to be shut up. So
that's okay. I was napping.
I suspected as much. So I gotta talk to Illyra about the Silks at Dawn. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, but obviously I haven't really been sort of fulfilling my duties there. So, and then it falls on Shay, and Shay has enough to do. I know that. And then I got to talk to Mirren and make sure that she wins
Mitzi's licking
this democracy thing.
Oh, Mirren. I like Mirren.
Yeah, let's. And Artemisia is actually going to sort of look out the window, and be like, and then we could. Well, there won't be time, but maybe there'll be time for us to go flying, because Mitzi will know that Artemisia is very self-conscious about flying, but if Mitzi will play with her and chase her, then she forgets about it. So they've been going outside of the city to practice.
Sounds good.
So right, Mirren first. That seems more pressing.
I don't know why you're so worried about this debut thing. You know, showing your wings to everybody. I don't know why you're nervous about it.
Well, because I'm not good at flying yet, and I have to be good at. One has to be elegant. For some reason, actually, I don't quite remember why it's important to be elegant all the time. But
I think I know. I think it's because you care too much what other people think. I
don't care what a Tressum I do care what a Tressum thinks.
See, exactly.
Damn it.
You fly fine. Maybe you just need the right moment, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. When all the business stuff is done, then it'll be right. So she's going to tell Mitzi. So I'm going to go see Mirren. You want to come, or do you want to do your own thing?
Mitzi's already clearly trying to stay awake, but failing.
Artemisia will leave her here then.
Okay. So you step outside to head to Dark Dance Manor. How are you going to get there? You gonna fly? No. All right. Summon a carriage?
Yeah, summon a carriage.
All right. Yeah, the gold trimmed carriage shows up.
This is Lilton's, right?
Yes, but you've been using it in his absence.
Yeah, but
On a few occasions. You don't always do so.
okay.
This is just the one that happened to be closest to you, and it provides you with this interesting reminder about another piece of business that is yet to be concluded.
Oh, that's true.
I do open the door and there's no one inside.
Okay, good. Well, and she's gonna check her bag, to make sure, because she's always been carrying it, but she just wants to make sure it's there, that there's a particular jewel that was a gift that she carries on her person, to make sure that it's still there in her bag.
A gift, was it? Okay.
Says the
Understood.
DM.
Understood.
Then she's gonna get into the carriage.
Okay. So you climb into the carriage. It is a very smooth, comfortable ride.
See, that's the trouble.
Yes, gold-lined cushions.
Those don't sound comfortable.
No, it's cloth of gold woven amongst the tassels of the cushions. That kind of thing. It is surprisingly comfortable.
Of course.
All right. They take you to Dark Dance Manor. All right. So Dark Dance Manor has also had a series of mishaps over some time, and but currently there is not any construction going on. You just see that the stones are like parts of the ramparts are crumbling off, and the grounds are overgrown. The gate opens for you quite happily as soon as you approach, and the face on the gate says, Artemisia Tararon, you are welcome in this place.
Thank you. Is Marin at home?
The lady is indisposed,
Oh,
but you are welcome to wait.
all right. Thank you.
All right, so the carriage drives you up, drops you out front of the tower. It has a sense of kind of abandonment, like wild has creeped into the area. You see vines creeping up the walls. Perhaps Mirren hasn't been paying attention to her yard recently. Hard to say, but it looks a little bit shabby almost. There's also a big crack where the earthquake cracked the tower long ago. The happy earthquake that reshaped Westgate.
Yep.
On almost the same night that the council was burned to death. Anyway, yeah, the Westgate Irregulars certainly have had an impact on the city, haven't they? You don't get the sense that it's empty, though. As soon as you approach the doors, you can hear voices inside. Voices juxtaposed with kind of yipping, barking sounds.
Okay. Marin taking up puppy fostering or something. So she's gonna knock and then go in. Marin,
Okay.
Are you there?
Yep, the door just kind of swings open a little bit under your knock because you're much stronger than you're used to being.
Oh, because the wraps are gonna wear off eventually, right?
Yeah, but they haven't yet.
Oh, whoopsie.
So you knock on the door and the door flies open to show you the wide open space in the center, the great hall, which is open to the sky, ringed with library stacks of books. And you can see a number of wolves just in the center of the room, kind of like leaping and like wrestling with each other. And as soon as you make your grand entrance, they all look up at you. One of them is a silver wolf who you recognize as Ruan.
Oh.
And he immediately stands up as his elven self. You haven't seen him in some time. He looks a little bit disheveled, like some of his hairs are out of place, and his eyes look older than you're used to. Like he's seen some shit. And he says, sister, how fortuitous that you might, and the other three wolves all look up at you, and then they also stand up and become elves.
Hello.
One of those elves is clearly a male elf. He is, you could tell because he is very, very cut and muscular, like sort of Sarshan, except bigger, bulkier, more functional strength, right? Mm-hmm. One of those elves is clearly female. You can tell because she only belatedly remembers to put her cloak on. They all belatedly remember to put clothes on in the presence of someone who is not, who is dressed. And then the third is a little androgynous, hard to tell. They look at you thoughtfully and say, is this the one? This is the one that we have come to seek. And Ruin says, well, this is one of my sisters, yes. This is Artemisia Tararone is her name. And they say, and they come closer to you and start sniffing at you.
So Artemisia is going to kind of like freeze and then say, oh, you want my sister Cecilia? She's not around right now. Ruan,
so the female elf says, no, you'll do. You'll do nicely. And the male elf says, don't tease her, Mirla. We didn't come here to tease. We're on serious business. And the non-binary one says, yes, very serious business, but don't get ahead of ourselves, Satant. He comes up to you and bows, and he says, yes, I am Satant, and these are my companions. And the female elf says, I am Mirla. And the other elf says, I am Cthulhu. And we have come, for we have urgent business with the daughter of Skaha.
And you mean me, not Cecilia, because
are you not the daughter of Skaha?
I am, but everybody else seems to forget about that. So,
well, we have not forgotten. You carry her scent.
I suppose
and
I
her
do.
Looks, Mirla says.
No.
Pretend that you hadn't noticed that. Satant is like, I had noticed that.
I don't look like her at all.
Chul says, can you not see that you're making her upset? And Satant says, yes, we shouldn't make her upset. And Mirla says, well, maybe we should make her upset. And Ruin says, look, when you came to me and said you were seeking my sister, I had not intended you to just spring a surprise on her. And Chul says, yes, you were keeping us here to prevent us from finding her for quite some time. It is true. And Satant says, well, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed wrestling. And Mila says, so did I, in fact.
Artemisia is going to see if she can, like, grab Ruan's hands and, like, drag him aside a little bit for some privacy.
Okay. Yeah, the other Lithari immediately start following you. And Ruan is like, no, she means to have a private word with me. And they look at each other. and at him. And they're like, strange. And they back off. Ren looks over to you and says, I am so very sorry.
So there are a lot
I didn't realize
like
you were coming here. I thought this was a safe place to stay then.
that's fine. I needed to talk to Mirren. Mirren isn't here right now, or
She, according to Eliver, who is Mirren's seneschal, she departed some time ago and has been indisposed.
that's what the gate said, indisposed. That's not good. I don't have to talk to Illyra. All right. Anyways.
It might be code for adventuring.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, having been nominated too.
What?
They want to trap me. It doesn't matter. So the Lithari, they're like Sarshan, right? You sort of have to say everything straight out. Is that correct?
Yes, more or less.
Okay. Did you hear about Skaha?
Our sister told me, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So and then you know about the other one?
The other one.
From the other timeline?
Oh. Yes. I had heard something of that nature.
Okay. So I'm sorry, that'll probably be weird when you meet her. It's weird for me, and I didn't even know her, the one that kind of died. This there's a lot that has happened. And I sort of hoped that I could like get out of the nomination and then like deal with that. But so the Lithari, why did you need to keep them away? What's are they did Skaha have some kind of debt that they want me to pay? Is that what's going on here?
In a sense, yes.
No. Damn it.
They have come because they heard of our mother's passing. And, well, they want something of you. I think it is to return with them.
Oh.
But I should allow Cthulhu to tell you. They are very well spoken. For one of our people, that is.
Well, I mean,
that we favor actions over words typically.
Certainly, that's how Sarshan is.
Yes. Well, there's this world weariness in Ruan's face when he says that. Yes, I know.
Should I
big doofus anyway?
Be a wolf, or to talk to them?
That's an excellent question. I suppose you should take whichever form allows you to make better decisions.
Oh, it's half elf.
Yes. I thought as much. If you were to become a wolf, you might be overcome by one of their musks and make terrible decisions.
Yeah, there is that also. I hadn't even thought of that. Right.
Ruan puts his hand on your shoulder. Well, I'm here with you, sister. I will help.
Well, so I was gonna ask because I know
maybe all three of them. I don't know. Anyway,
I know Rogar is gone, and Cecilia, she probably wants her privacy, so I would think that you should go after her. But I would understand if you wanted to go find Rogar, or go introduce yourself to the other Skaha. I could deal with this, and I don't know, you even need to roll an insight check to tell that, like, no, she wouldn't understand. Well, not at all, but
Sister, Ruan says, I am here for you. You saved the universe. Surely I can save you from whatever they want from you.
well, that's nice of you.
Of course.
She's gonna hug him.
That's bad.
And then she's gonna turn back to the Lithari.
All right. The Lithari approach as though you looking at them has summoned them. Cthulhu steps forward. Ah, yes. Artemisia, daughter of Skaha, the Spear Witch. We have traveled far, for it has come to our attention that the Spear Witch has fallen. And now that she has fallen, her blood falls to you and to your sister. And me, Ruan says. Just a little kind of like waves. You see, many years ago, when Skaha, the Spear Witch, left our clan, she left many things undone, and it was hoped that she would return and fulfill those things that were expected of her. Alas, such a thing has never come to pass, and we were hoping, well, I get ahead of myself. First, is the Spear Witch's body here in the city?
No.
Has it been lost?
Yes. My sister was there. She would know, but she's unfortunately unreachable. So.
Okay. The wolves, the wolf elves nod. I see. Such is the way of battle sometimes. She did die in battle, yes?
Correct.
Satant nods. Good. And Mirla says, well, it seems like she would have, if the legends are true. Cthulhu looks back to you and says, in that case, we must celebrate her life and her death.
Okay. There's some ceremony?
They look at each other. The word is unfamiliar to them. Well, there is a night of running and howling, our grief toward the moon. But you should accompany us, Satan says. Mirla says, yes, you definitely should. It's very freeing.
Yes, thank you. I'm honored. I didn't know that my mother's family would feel that way about me.
We are Lithari. We are few. All Lithari are pack. You are pack to us.
And Artemisia, she's just like, she almost tears up and she's smiling, and she doesn't seem to realize that that's what her reaction is. She's sort of like a little bit overcome. She can't say anything for a second.
Ruan steps up next to Artemisia. This run beneath the moon, this is tonight? Cthulhu nods. Tonight is the first night of the full moon. It is an excellent time for mourning and for celebration.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Thank you. Where do I meet you tonight?
Outside the city, toward the hills in the west. Come and find us, or we shall find you, and we shall celebrate together.
Okay.
Satan nods. Mirla nods. Satan approaches you. He's a little imposing because he's very big. He looks you up and down. He says, "What is the purpose of these?" And he just kind of like tugs at your pants a little bit.
Oh wow. See,
Ruan
that's
says,
the
"Oh
reason
wow."
that's the reason why I was surprised that you would that that this is how I was raised. It's not going to change, so I thought that might be a barrier to.
You are disguised, Myrna says. This is a thing that is understood by us.
Yes, that
Exactly.
is correct.
Satan nods. So this is a disguise.
Yes.
Is it
So-
protective?
Part of
Tugs
it
at
is.
your blouse a little bit.
Yeah.
Seems very flimsy.
Part of it, and she like shows the wraps a little bit, but so he's a wolf elf, and she doesn't usually go for the bigger dudes, but like still, so she's gonna show off a little bit. So she doesn't want to ruin her jacket, but so she pulls that off. So she's just got the wraps and the gloves she wears, the fingerless gloves she wears to hide her ring scar, and then her sort of blouse that's on underneath, which is a halter top style, which is not immediately obvious when she's wearing the jacket, but it is now. And
Yeah,
she,
the Lithari are kind of like, oh, they rumble a little bit, like there's something happening.
yes, busting out the wings. Just on the flimsy excuse, she's just like, also you should know that, you know, my bloodline is varied, and then wings.
One of them goes, oh my. And Cthulhu nods and says, the power of the spear witch breeds true, I see.
Well, this
says, I don't recall her having wings in any of the stories.
this is not from my mother. This is all me. My sister has wings when she uses a spell, but these are not a spell.
Cthulhu looks at Ruan. Ruan nods. He's like, many surprises you have, daughter of the spear witch. I look forward to seeing you again this night. And then the wolf elves turn back into wolves, and they head out the open door. Ruan goes, whew. Well, that happened.
So she's going to pull in her wings, and then she's totally a wolf, because she is not a wolf with wings. I'm sorry, chat. I know you really, really wanted it, but the wolf does not have the wings. And then she is just like, the wolf is just the purest expression of excitement. Like, she starts out and she's sort of like just wagging her tail a little bit and like trying to get up to lick Ruin's face, but then she's just like, she's just on her back and just rolling around, and
Ruan rolls his eyes, and then he starts rubbing Artemisia's tummy. Are you sure that was the best choice, sister?
But we're gonna run, and they like me. They like me a lot. They don't think I'm too like weird, and they didn't want Cecilia instead of me. So
all of this is true.
Why is it a bad choice?
Well, you should be cautious what they want of you. I noticed that Cthulhu. Oh, I've been away from Lithari too long. I don't even know how to say their names. Cthulhu wasn't forthcoming about what they wanted.
For me to run with them for the celebration.
You are a wolf again, so just do be careful. Did you said you were here to visit Mirren, and you mentioned some kind of position?
Oh,
election?
yeah. She's like really, really upset about it. So I guess I should stay. It's nice to see you. You should come by the house. I've made all the scent markings, and you gotta do on top of them. I don't know if the new mom, that's like the less bad mom, I don't know if she's scent marked, but you gotta do yours. So
I see. I should like to meet this other mom.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yes. Okay. So she's gonna turn back into the house elf, and then immediately, flushed with embarrassment, Yeah,
So
I mean, you know that how the
Satante,
wolf is. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought so. Everyone's like, oh, nothing.
Yeah. Well, well, I mean, so I'll go to their running ceremony and then I'll turn back into a half elf, and then whatever thing it is that they want me to do, then I'll consider it. So, but I'd still want to go running first.
Of course. But that is many hours yet.
Yes. Right. So they want me to be Cromark, and they
want what?
Yeah, and then they gave people like votes, and I mean, they know me from the arena, so they're gonna think like, oh hey, we know her, she's like really impressive, and not think about the fact that, boy, I can't think of anything less that I would like to do. I would like to go adventuring and be indisposed like Marin is. Thanks, Marin. Not that I can blame her. Okay. What am I gonna do? She's not asking this of Ruan. She doesn't think Ruan has any sort of useful ideas about Westgate politics. So she's gonna kind of like pace around being a bit, being like, shut.
Well, is there anyone that you could consult about this? Mirren's not available, but surely you have other noble friends. Rivals?
Could ask Illyra. Talking to Bleth would put me in the debt of House Bleth, and I don't want that. I don't know that I want Bleth to win. Don't know the Chow candidate. Maybe that would be good.
You've been hearing this kind of like soft rustling sound for a while, and it becomes louder just before there's this large impact, like on top of the tower, and you can see a great shadow appear over the opening to the sky.
What? Well, she's gonna go see. I mean, it's not her house, but don't need people crashing into it.
You do know how to use the earth moat that will raise you up. Is that what you're gonna do? Or are you gonna fly? Are you
gonna? She doesn't know who it is, so she's gonna go up on the earth moat for now.
Okay. All right. So I just want to pause for a second and tell you that Sirenscape is kind of acting up a little bit today. So I'm not as adept with music as I would normally be. So please excuse any pauses in the music for that, to that end. Okay. All right. So you head up through the opening, and you find as you're starting to rise up, you hear a loud voice that says, "Aha, you are here." And you get up there in time to see a big red dragon on top of the tower. The dragon looks at you. And then,
so she pulled her coat on, and she's gonna like take the coat off again, just sort of casually.
Okay.
Over her arm.
And then he shrinks. He just contracts and becomes this tall, very pale, red-eyed elven man. And he is. Well, when Zarkast looks like a human, he looks like a very exaggerated version of what he thinks a cool human would look like. Like he's extra tall and he has like a 12-pack. And he's like, I have been looking for you, my sweet. It is time to go forth and do something. I grow restless in this place.
Okay. Go forth and do what?
Sex, probably. Murder is also on the table.
No murder. Sorry.
Hmm.
I have a surprise for you if you're good.
Well then, what does that mean?
Well, I suppose you couldn't be good, could you? I have a surprise for you if you do what I say.
Will I enjoy the surprise?
I don't know. I will enjoy showing it to you.
Very well. I shall play this game, for you are quite tasty. So, what is this surprise? Oh, wait. What is it that you would have me do for you?
So, I think that this time needs to be our last.
Our last murder spree.
Our last sex.
Oh.
And that maybe, you might be wanting to travel to other places.
Because you are carrying a bunch of eggs. I knew it. You had been avoiding me for some time. Where have you laid our eggs, woman? I would know where my wormlings would be born.
Wow. Okay. No, sorry. The reason I was gone is kind of to do with the surprise, but it is not eggs. Sorry. Did you want eggs with me?
I care not.
Yeah. See, I'm only going to have eggs with a guy who cares very deeply. Sorry.
Well, no one's perfect. So, what is this thing you would have me do for you?
That since this is our last time, that
You said that.
Correct. What I would have you do is that you do not come to see me again when this time is done.
Very well. I shall do as you ask.
Excellent. So she's gonna sort of go down enough to be able to see Ruan, and wave at him.
Ruan's like,
would you go back to Briar House just for a couple hours?
He's already out the door.
Okay. All right. So, I think that we should fly somewhere more interesting for our last time together. And she's gonna watch his reaction as she brings out the wings.
So, why don't you describe what your wings look like to our audience here?
So they're bronze dragon wings, and so the scales from Artemisia's skin are just sort of on the main sort of parts of the limb, rather than the membrane itself is kind of a bronzy colored skin rather than scales. And they are well proportioned for her. So they don't come up super high. They do have a very wide wingspan once she stretches them all the way out, because it's got to be wide to carry her weight. Really, really pretty. It's the sort of upshot. Not that she's noticed or looked in the mirror a lot when she's alone in her room.
Zarkaz says, yes. Keep the wings out. It makes it better.
Yes.
Shall we then?
Yes, we shall. She ain't worrying about her flying this time.
Okay, you fly off. Did you have somewhere in mind to go?
Somewhere outside of the city.
Okay. There are kind of little small islands in the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So, sometime thereafter, the sun has risen to high sun, which is the equivalent of noon. Zarkas is lounging about as a dragon. Metallics have a very specific texture to them, do they not?
I wouldn't know. I mean, I aim to find out someday.
So, you said this was our last time. Why?
Because I want to have eggs with somebody who really wants eggs, I think.
But that doesn't make it have to be our last time. I just have to not kill that person long enough for you to have eggs.
And also thereafter so that he can help raise them. The long-term thing. No, I
want you to know I don't make these arrangements for just anybody.
Well, I'm touched, but
yes, repeatedly.
She's gonna like sort of go up to his like kind of his flank along his back and kind of like stroke his scales a little bit. It's fairly platonic, but she clearly enjoys sort of like being able to feel the scale texture.
So you have met someone that you wish to have eggs with. Is that not so?
No, actually.
Yes, you are very cunning not to admit it or to tell me his name.
Oh, are you jealous?
No, I am rageful.
Well, I mean, that if you want somebody long term, well, I don't know about other red dragons, but if you want
somebody... I wanted someone long term.
Well, clearly not, because that's not how you have somebody long term. Which is why I'm ending this, because we can't be long term.
Fair enough. You are too good for me in the cosmic sense. Besides, you have a soft heart and a softer belly, and you would not go out on murder sprees with me. And a dragon, has needs.
I'm very sad to say that, but yes, that is correct. You should find somebody who could go on murder sprees with you.
Yes. Another sorceress, perhaps. Or a sorcerer. It has been a long time.
You got options.
I have a taste for humans and not just for their flesh. But you seem preoccupied, my sweet. What is it that is bothering you? Come on, this is our last time, but you can speak to me until the sun goes down if you wish.
That's true. I have an appointment after the sun has gone down.
I knew it.
My mother's family has something they wish of me. I don't know what it is yet, but I would frankly prefer that to being entrapped into Westgate politics.
Well, your mother must be a powerful dragon too.
No.
Is she available?
Oh, my stepmother. My stepmother would love to have you, and you should really just burn her to death. Actually, no, I don't mean that. I
Are you
don't
sure
mean
we
that.
should not be together?
Misha is very clearly what did I shit. You can't make those kind of jokes around Zarkas. You know this. Oh, I wonder if my stepmother would want to be Cromark. Do I want my stepmother to be Crowmark?
Crowmark.
I'd have to leave the city if my stepmother was Crowmark.
You have a chance to be Crowmark.
Um,
I am not an
yes?
uneducated dragon. I know much of the politics of Westgate, and I know that they have been in delicious, delicious chaos for a year. Thanks in no small part to you and your companions.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose, and I suppose.
Yes, deny your darkness all you wish, but I know you. I have tasted your darkness.
Well, so in that case, I would run from my responsibilities as opposed to trying to find somebody who will not do a bad job, because
you should become Crowmark, Zarkaz says.
I think I would do a bad job.
Exactly. Turn Westgate into your personal murder land. Destroy people at whim. Pass whatever laws you wish and break them all.
And
think of what you could accomplish with that much power over those foolish mortals.
Mortal too. Sorry, just FYI.
For now.
I saw where that went, and it had its good aspects, but it was, quite frankly, very lonely. I don't know if that would bother you, but it really bothered me. But no, I mean, if I was to be Crowmark, it would be out of a sense of wanting the people here not to suffer any longer. But I don't think I'm the best person for the job.
Ugh. Ugh. Such compassion does not suit such as we. Perhaps it is best that we go our separate ways.
So I feel like I should roll like a deception check or something, because Artemisia is going to pretend to be really broken up about how now Zarkaz has decided they should break up. And she's going to pretend to be so sad, but she's not going to try to talk him out of it. Let's see. So that is a 27 deception.
Okay. Well, you remember that Zarkaz has there are many big things about Zarkaz, but one of the biggest is his ego. And you kind of seeming upset or flattering him just a little bit will definitely put him right into your hands. It's just and you don't have to say all those things. We could just assume that you kind of manipulate him. And he's like, yes, well, your loss. And then he flies off. To go ruin someone else's day.
He didn't ruin her day.
Possibly a city. Well, he's got to balance it out somehow.
Okay, there we go. Well, she didn't say her stepmother's name, so she's not too worried about that.
Okay.
So Artemisia is gonna she's actually gonna look a little bit hopeful, that went well, and that was fun, and got to do a little flying, and she's gonna call Mitzi to her and be like, okay, we're gonna fly back.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
This is great. Did you finally dump that red dragon?
I did, yeah.
Good. He was the worst. Well, maybe not the worst. You have terrible choice in men.
I do not. You met Clement.
You do too. I stand by my assessment.
I'm going to tell Clement you said that in my next letter to him.
Good. When he comes to visit you, I will bite him in the knee.
Well, cat bites can go get infected. Well, I'm like, what's realms for get infected?
You're right. I better not bite him in the knee. Fester.
Fester. There we go.
I better not bite him in the knee, because then he'd be all wounded and you'd be all doting over him.
Just don't let him pet you. And then he will be so sad because he can't pet the fluffy cat belly.
You're not really drawn to the sad boys, are you? This is a good strategy. I will make you not like him by making him sad.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a plan, Mitzi.
You give me so much power over you. All right, flying time.
Flying time.
All right, you fly back to Westgate.
And she's a little more like loosened up now. Because like a real dragon was impressed with her wings. They must be kind of legit.
Okay. By the time you make it back to Westgate, the sun is starting to sink. Where do you want to go in the city?
So, either back to Briar House or out to meet the Lithari. She didn't really arrange with Ruan if they're gonna meet out there. So she's gonna go to Briar House because she told Ruan to go there. So she's gonna go like pick him up.
Okay. All right. So you head to Briar House. That's what you said, Briar House?
Yeah.
All right. So you head to Briar House and you see the golden carriage sitting outside Briar House. Waiting, perhaps.
Is there anybody in it?
You gonna go look?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure enough, there is someone in it, and it is a very handsome, golden-skinned elf in very fine attire, who looks out at you and says, "Ah, there you are."
Oh, and she didn't put the wings away yet either.
It is indeed Lilfin.
Oh, and he just saw the wings.
He says, "I can tell that you are anxious, but you need not be. Your wings are very lovely. I did not mean to catch you by surprise. I am in the city on other business, although it is related to you, and I was hoping we could perhaps talk."
Yes, let's talk. So she's going to back up and sort of invite him to come out of the carriage to stand with her.
He makes no move. He says, "I had thought this might be the case. I shall give you my word that if you give me an hour of your time, I shall not resist whatever doom you mean for me. Is this acceptable?"
What? I'm like, should I do another deception check to make her like not show that she knows what he's referring to?
I only wish to talk.
An hour. I do what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Join me for a meal. Holds out his hand. He's still in the carriage.
Yeah, Artemisia, she doesn't play by that honorable of rules, so she's gonna reach in her bag and take something out, and then she's gonna make like she's gonna take his hand, but really she's gonna put the jewel onto his palm so that it touches his palm.
He reaches up and catches your hand, holding the gemstone between your hands.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I see." And you see his hand is kind of shaking a little bit. And he says, "I really did just wish to talk. I fear that our time of talking will be foreshortened. and he lets go of Artemisia's hand, and his hand closes around the gemstone and starts to tremble. It's like, yes. It had not occurred to me that you might actually betray me in this way.
What promises have I ever made to you that I'm
None.
betraying?
None. I just thought you were, well, I thought otherwise of you. You have just a few moments to take what you want from me. Knowledge, truth, power.
How do I make the ring my own?
I release my grip upon it. I forswear the ring. It is now yours, and yours alone. You shall not encounter me or a reflection of me within the ring. Now his whole arm is shaking.
I thank you. I never wish to be your tool.
You are welcome.
And
Yes.
in this, I sever any hold, any you may have over me, any debt you may feel that I owe you. We have nothing between this. That is what I wish.
Yes. It is severed between us. You may not believe this, but this is one of my better breakups.
This is Rhiannon laughing. Artemisia is like...
I have treated you poorly, Artemisia. I have used you foolishly and ill. But it was not out of malice. It was out of... It was out of my own failures. You know, I should really... And then he like puts his hand down on his arm, and he just chops the forearm off, and it falls onto the ground. And you see there's still the gemstone clutched in his hand. He says, much better. As, you know, blood is streaming out of his arm. Did you really think that I would be caught in that kind of magic? You are much more cunning and wily than I took you for, and I do admire that about you. If only my own daughter were half as ruthless as you.
Well, that's between you and her.
Any of them. I have several, you know.
But you said it is severed between us. She's like backing up.
As surely as my arm is severed. Farewell, Artemisia Tarot.
Farewell, Wilton Darden.
Do not promise that we shall not meet again. But when we meet again, there shall be nothing between us.
She's gonna kind of like bow a little bit. That's her answer.
He leans back against the wall and just on the roof of the carriage. The driver, who you had not really noticed before because she was invisible, cracks the reins, and she looks over at you, and it's clearly Fane who is driving this carriage. And she nods, like, and then they head off.
She's gonna say like, "Good luck," towards Fane.
You think you hear Fane kind of mutter out a little laugh like, okay. You're left with a Lilton hand
Oh, jeez.
and the gemstone, which has started to embed itself into his flesh. You see black veins creeping through it.
So she ain't touching that. She's gonna telekinesis it. And take it over to the rose garden. Which just means that Caliph is gonna dig it up at some point. But like, if Caliph wants to like make some like Lilton skeleton arm thing, like Caliph should knock herself out. And so she's gonna kind of like bury it fairly shallowly because she thinks that Glacia will probably be coming back for it, for the jewel at least.
Possibly.
But meanwhile, like, you don't want like, I don't know, Roomba eating it or something. So she's gonna bury it in the rose garden.
Okay.
That's what the rose garden is for.
Very good. All right. So at this point, it might be a good time for us to take our break. So Yang Yang, cue us up for 10 minutes, and we will be back soon for the thrilling conclusion of Artemisia's day of many breakups.
And during the break, exclamation point enter to enter the book contest, and exclamation point ticket to enter for the dice and dice tray.
Yep, check out the Ragged Magic. It is gonna be awesome. Hey, before we get back into the meat of it, I wanted to make a special announcement, which is that the Dungeon Scholars are raising funds specifically for new character art, like a cool compiled shot of all of us, which is going to be pretty neat. If you want to kick in a couple of bucks or help us out in some way, exclamation point Ko-Fi, K-O-F-I. Would take you right there. Or you could find the link down in the doobly-doo. We appreciate all of your help. Without you, the audience, we'd just be talking to each other, which it's not like we wouldn't do, but it's much more fun with all of you. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. Before we get started, I wanted to clarify two things. One, Lilton did not escape the magic of the soul gem. You saw that there was still some black magic crawling up his arm while he was riding away, and he was starting to look very sickly. So yeah, you messed up his day. And secondly, Artemisia, you became aware of a very distinct smell before when the carriage went away. And you know exactly what it means. And you kind of straighten and stiffen because your mother has come to call. That's right. Marcelea is waiting in Briarhouse for you.
Stepmother.
Mm-hmm. Your semi-wicked stepmother. Well, don't just stand out there. Come and speak to me.
And Ruin is Ruin around? She likes buffers when she's dealing with Marcelea.
Ruan he's looking at you, and he's like, I'm not sure you want me for this one, sister.
Coward. All right, fine.
Oh, what's that? Oh, I thought I heard some mice elsewhere. I should you see that Ruan is he was staring at the at Wilton's hand with the black magic consuming it, like with a kind of difficult to read expression. Would you like to make an insight check?
I would indeed. All right, let's see. And that is 22.
Okay. You think he is a little afraid, maybe? Or maybe just like intimidated slightly?
Okay, well, so I'm thinking we have a two birds with one stone situation here. So rather than burying the hand in the rose garden, she's going to keep telekinesising it. And so she's going to go inside, and she's going to like just walk by with it, holding it in the air, wings still out, trying to be like the most casual possible, and sort of say, "Oh, sorry, Marcelea, I've got to go put this away. There's a lead-lined box. I got one in the basement just for this purpose. I'll be back in just a moment."
She looks up from her draping throne, which she has obviously moved into the living room so that she can hold court there. And she sees you, and she's like, "Oh, well, oh, yes, dispose of your grisly trophy however you wish. I shall be waiting."
It's not a trophy.
It's kind of a trophy, Ruan says.
So, because she needs it, I believe there has been a lead-lined box down in the basement before. And so she's going to go find that again. I think we put half the book that got in Kayla's head in it.
Okay.
So this is going to be like a different compartment if the half book is still down there. I don't remember. Rumpus, tell us where the book went. And then like a very solid lock that on there, so that Roomba doesn't get in. Again, Roomba, don't eat the soul stone.
Okay. You realize that Ruan is not with you.
He's probably just gone off so he doesn't have to deal with Marcelea.
Well, when you come back upstairs, you find that Ruan is standing there in the living room with Marcelea, looking very awkward. She's like, "So you are her base-born brother, are you?" And Ruan sees you coming, and he's like, "Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good."
With elves, is it base-born? And she's gonna like take Ruan's elbow and like pat him on the shoulder to be like, "Thank you," and then she'll be like, I'll deal with her.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure he was born in a ditch somewhere under a tree, perhaps. I don't see how you could get more base than that unless you were born underground.
Wow, Marcelea, when I'm gone, I forget a little bit just how much you are.
I'm sorry, my dear. I did not mean to be so dismissive of your erstwhile brother. You are looking well.
Thank you.
Did I hear that the bells of that golden carriage?
I took care of him.
Oh,
He has other things to deal with than
darling, I'm scandalized. Why would you use such coarse language in my presence? Ruan's like, "Oh, she has no idea. No idea. No idea about what, darling?" And Ruan's like, "Oh, no, you know what? I think there might be some rats. I'm gonna go take care of the rats."
Yeah, you go do that. And the scent marks.
He turns into a cat, bounds off to look for rats. Marcelea's like, well, he does have some talent, I suppose.
What do you want?
Is that any way to welcome your loving mother?
You know what, Marcelea?
You're right, it is. No, I had heard that you had been nominated to be Crawmark of Westgate.
Do you want the job?
Oh, gods no. This
But you
city
want
is
me to
a
have it.
midden pile. No, no, no. You see, my dear, I came to persuade you not to take it.
Oh. Oh. Oh, do I use the one F-bomb? Because that's certainly what she's feeling.
We could sort of cut away, and there's just this like, like just across the city.
Oh.
When we come back, you're both sipping tea.
I don't know that actually Artemisia would consent to have tea with Marcelea.
Okay.
I think she's going to stay standing.
All right. Well, there's tea sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
Marcelea has taken to ordering Charity around, and Charity has brought you both tea. Marcelea says, "You see, I have brought you a gift, my daughter, my wayward daughter."
Okay.
And that is a ticket out of this hellhole.
Oh, and what? Come back to Aglarond and live in my father's house and under your thumb? That's what you're...
Oh no, live in your own house, darling. You see, your father and I have decided to part ways.
Have you? You've decided. What does my father think?
He has also, he has agreed.
Yeah, I suppose he would, wouldn't he?
Interestingly enough, twas he who initiated this. I suppose that surprises you.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you see, blood runs true and heritage never really goes away, does it? Your father, she looks off in the middle distance, has left me for some shiny tramp of a dragon. Well, don't look so pleased.
Artemisia, she had been sort of like standing to be like, okay, this is going to be as short as possible. I'm not going to sit down. I'm not going to let her like force me to give her hospitality. But now she just like collapses into the nearest chair. Probably picks up the teacup just to be sort of like, what is happening?
One of those bronze hussies, I believe.
My relative, his relative, would be bronze. Could it be a great grandparent?
That would be quite unseemly, Artemisia. I'm sure not all dragons are related.
No. I mean, do you actually know that they were romantically involved, or perhaps he wished to get to know his extended family better?
She draws herself up a little bit. You think I, who am so skilled in the ways of politics and intrigue, would ever be taken in by such a... I hadn't thought of that.
That's again Rhiannon.
She kind of sags a little bit, and she's like, Artemisia, I have treated you so poorly for so long. And I think I'm starting to understand how that might feel.
She's gonna lean forward, and she's gonna look like she is totally taking this seriously, and she's going to say, "Can you tell me what it is that you did wrong?"
Me? Whatever makes you believe that I did something wrong?
That was what I expected. Okay.
Regardless, your father has left me, left Aglarond for parts unknown. And, well, I... the land holds no more meaning for me, and I shall retire. And as my heir, I am bequeathing the house to you.
Oh.
And my title.
Oh.
And my place in the line of Simbars. I suspect with a good 20 years of work and a little bit of politicking, I know you don't really care for it, but, if the end is good enough, you can see yourself a ruler in Aglarond. Maybe not the symbol herself, but on the council, one of her favored maidens. Don't worry, the word is just symbolic.
Yeah, Marceline knows how true that isn't. For in Artemisia's case, I mean, not literally true.
It is a shame that your romance with Lord Darden did not pan
Oh.
out, but, you know, I never did like that man.
Yes. You did know he was the Archfey? You were aware?
Yes, I knew there was something otherworldly about him.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't like him?
Why?
Well, I am a diviner, of course. I know many things, but when I don't know something, it tends to bother me. And not knowing the truth of that man has bothered me for quite some time. I trust that you divested yourself of him in a suitably hands-off manner.
Okay, that Artemisia actually is laughing at that one. Bad DM.
Well, good riddance. Regardless, when you assume my position in Aglarond, you can replace you can replace him with any number of lovers as you wish. You will be expected to, in fact.
So, what does your divination magic tell you is likely to be my answer?
Well, I expect you to refuse me, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect you to consider it over time. And perhaps when you have grown out of all of this adventurous nonsense, you will reconsider.
So perhaps you're not too blinded by your naked ambition then.
Artemisia, you've always thought the worst of me, and to be honest, and much of it was correct. I am a nakedly ambitious woman. My life has been all about the pursuit of power, influence, and wealth, and knowledge, and well, it's all grown quite boring, you know? What am I left with? An empty house? A stepdaughter who hates me? A husband who left me for some glittering tramp in the skies? And just 10 or 20 more years of trying to weather the scandal and put myself back on track to become what? A ruler, a person of greater power in Aglarond. What is the purpose?
Well, I mean, I would have said it's to take care of your family, take care of your friends, but you don't have any of that, do you?
Exactly. And so, I wish to make something like amends.
Well, I'm not throwing you out, so.
I do appreciate that. I only have, well, the very fine clothes upon my back, and at least 6 or 8 valises of my belongings. I was actually hoping that you wouldn't mind if I were to stay with you for a time. Your
I
father was always the one better with money.
Oh, can you divine the answer to that question?
Yes, I assumed you would refuse me, but I thought perhaps a trade would be in order.
Of what for what?
Well, if you want more than the noble title and the influence and I suppose knowledge, magic, secrets.
Our magic's never aligned, at least to your mind. Do you remember how I was never good enough? I never applied myself enough to my lessons. I never learned well enough what you thought you had to teach me.
I was simply trying to motivate you. I did a terrible job, obviously, but you did learn a great deal of magic. Not my magic, your magic.
Mm.
My magic is a subtle thing.
Artemis is like, mine is not subtle. Not subtle at all.
For all my sight and learning and knowledge and secrets, I could not keep your father from leaving me. Eventually.
Mm.
But, you know, you're the only family I have left, Artemisia. And I believe a wise woman did once say that one should take care of one's family.
Oh. You cannot stay here. I will not allow it. Who can you stay with? No. No, I know how this goes. Lilton, I thought it might become love, and then he was using me, and he said that that was not his intention, but it was nothing that he could avoid in the end, I think. And you say it's family, but you will end up using me, and it will make things worse than before because I will resent you even more. I cannot. I will not let you stay in Briarhouse. Briarhouse itself will deny you entry from this point. I can assure you of that. And I will not pay for you to stay anywhere. You married my father's money, and you used it, and now you can no longer use it, and you cannot have mine. Divine, use your secrets. Divine for others. Go to the council. Go to the Cromark, whoever is elected. Sell them your knowledge.
Artemisia, you would turn away your own mother.
You're not my mother. You're my stepmother. And you never let me forget. Had I been human and not half elf, had I been human, I would have still known that I was not yours. You made it very clear in every interaction. And my scales, you found them disgusting, you said. Cover them. No one need know about your deformity. And I had to find out myself what they are. I wonder if you knew and simply wished to control me that way.
Marcelea stands up. Yes, I did know. I knew all about your father's touched heritage. I knew all about the manifestation that it might have within you. But I was hoping that more dignity would win but I see that same wildness is within you. Very well. I shall take my leave of you.
You better believe there's wild here. So she's gonna stand up and like just stand there like she's not casting a spell, but her hands are ready. And she's gonna wait for Isolea to pick up her things. And she's gonna walk behind her to the door.
Okay, yep. Marcelia waves a hand, and her little curved throne picks itself up and starts moving. She just animated all those objects. And she says,
What a show off.
I see that I might not be your mother, but I have impressed certain things upon you. I don't like them much, but I respect them.
Self-respect? Is that what you're talking about?
As if either of us. Farewell, Lady Tararone. And she whisks off.
Artemis slams the door. Okay, Briarhouse. She does not cross the threshold.
Okay, you feel the house kind of like ripple around you in agreement. A silver cat appears, rubbing up against your legs, and then turns into ruin.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow! Oh wow, sister. That was excellent.
She's gonna hug him again because she's sort of a little like shaky from reaction from like when you need all your sort of like adrenaline and sort of self-control to like deal with the situation, and then like it's done and it's good, like you're glad like what happened, but it's just like
He kind of rubs your hair. He's like, I think you did very well.
Thank you. I was gonna say maybe you should meet the mother of rats before we left, but I don't think I can take it. Did you meet her already? She's around here somewhere.
Did not.
Okay, yeah. But let's space
sure
it out a little.
Eventually. Are you hungry? You probably haven't eaten all day. I saw you go off with Zarkast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I am hungry. Yeah. Oops. You get the sense Artemisia does that a lot.
Oh, forgot to eat again. Whoops.
Yeah.
Run's like, you are so slender. You should definitely eat some more.
Well, but I just get so busy. Well, anyway, we'll go eat now, or I'll hunt while we're out. The wolf likes hunting.
Also, you hug much harder when you have those wraps on. I just want you to know that.
Oh, sorry. I keep doing that. But I should take them off, but it's so nice. I like it. Indeed.
All right, well, Charity has been preparing food. Apparently, that woman directed her to prepare a feast. So the feast is still here, and that woman is gone. So I suggest you and I eat it together.
That sounds great.
All right. So you eat with Ruan.
Yeah. She fills them in a little bit on what has happened.
Ruan looks impressed. Really? Chopped his hand off. His own hand. In a vain effort to...
And then it'll be time to go out to...
You managed to break up with Zarkast.
I will admit
I know you weren't really together. I know.
I was honestly surprised. I thought that maybe he might be one of those guys where you say, hey, let's talk about babies, and he runs a mile. But apparently not. Apparently he could put up with that. So I had to let him think it was his idea. That's the way to do it.
That's probably sensible. Although knowing Zarkast, as I assumed anyway, maybe he was just looking forward to omelets. clinks glasses with you at his terrible dark humor.
All right, brother, let's go out and do the meet them at Lothari.
Oh, that reminds me. There was one other thing. There were a bunch of letters that were just okay. Let me back up. I went into Cecilia's room because I needed to find something for her or something of hers. I barely remember. Anyway, it was a mess, and there were all kinds of letters all over the place. And some of them were in your hand. I assumed that Cecilia was reading letters for you before you sent them. You know, just to make sure that you didn't say anything embarrassing or like too personal. Anyway, I took care of it.
Whoa. What? So Artemisia is gonna stand up and she's gonna be like, all right, first. And she's gonna like do the like sibling like smack upside the head.
Ow! You deal him like 5 damage.
Oh shoot. Stupid raps.
I only have so much health.
You don't go in Cecilia's room, but now that you have what? Letters in my hand?
Yeah, there were a number of letters that you wrote. I'm not sure why you hadn't sent them. Anyway.
Okay. So you what, like burned them?
Oh no, I had the dwarf, what's his name? I had him just send them. There were a bunch addressed to this fellow, what was his name? It started with a V.
Why were those in Cecilia's room?
I don't know. Who knows why Cecilia does anything she does?
They were drafts, and
what's a draft?
When you get your thoughts out, but then you don't actually send it, you burn it later. But I was just, I wanted to maybe come back to them later and make them better. So they should have been in my. I don't remember what happened to them. It's been a long.
You know, I'm sure it'll be fine. You know, it's getting dark. Maybe we should go meet the Lothari.
You sent them?
I didn't send anything. The dwarf did.
Oh no! Oh, what is he going to? What? Oh, I will have to crawl into a hole and die. Oh, well, maybe he's moved. Maybe they won't get to them. Maybe he's moved, or he met Cecilia was while he was traveling. Maybe he's traveling. Maybe he hasn't even read them, and they will pile up.
Maybe
at his estate, and then he won't read them because it's too weird. Why am I even writing to him? And it'll all be okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what will happen. Oh, the dwarf did give them to Shay, though, who specializes in finding people.
Oh, Ruhan, why?
Well, Sarshan told me something once, which I have found to be an excellent bit of wisdom, which is that secrets are poison.
It wasn't a secret. It was a game. It was a silly game, and I put his name on it because it was just a way to play the game, and now he's gonna think he'll think I'm mad. Well, and then I suppose he'll think I'm mad and then avoid me, and then it won't even be a problem. Okay, maybe I need to go be the wolf forever. That would solve everything, wouldn't it?
Maybe. But you know what? It could always be worse, sister.
I mean, yeah, I
It could have
suppose
been
like
Fane disguised as Shay.
why would you say that?
Oh, hey, it's getting very dark out now.
Ruin, I don't. Did you think it was Fane?
I wasn't there when the handoff happened.
So you're
I
just
was dealing with the Lothari who had come to the town to meet up with you.
so
I
you're
smelled
just
them coming.
making up how it could be even worse.
I thought I was being helpful.
No, no,
Oh,
Ruin.
okay. Well, I'll stop.
When I say that he'll just avoid me and I will never be able to visit Waterdeep, but that's all right. You agree. You're like, yes, Artemisia.
Yes.
Who wants to go to Waterdeep anyway?
Yes. Who wants to go to Waterdeep? Especially not Viscaris.
All right, we gotta go run with some wolves.
Excellent.
I'm gonna pretend that you didn't even say that.
Nope. Didn't say it. All right, so you head outside the city. Mind whirling with all this nonsense. Okay. All right. Sure enough, if you head out to the west, there are clouds on the horizon that are kind of sweeping in from where the sun is setting. Would you like to wolf out? Okay. Yep. Ruan comes with you. He tags along a little bit behind you because he knows that he's done something wrong, but he's not sure exactly what it is. Like, he's a high wisdom character, right? He knows that Artemisia is troubled. He doesn't know exactly what's going on, but he's going to be a bit cautious. Okay, so sure enough, you do meet up with 3 wolves who just kind of peel out of the shadows to run alongside you. And they're running in the general direction of the 7 Lost Gods, which are the hills to the west of Westgate. You see that there are torches at one of the hills, and there are flowers, cut flowers, laid out on one of the others. And it is toward this hill that the wolves run, and they start howling at the moon, which is peeking through the rain clouds. Long, sad, mournful, but also celebratory howls. You join in?
Oh yeah. Artemisia is definitely sort of, she's mourning something. She's not mourning Skaha, but she's sort of mourning kind of what her life could have been. Had Skaha been different.
Reasonable. Okay. You spend some time running. At some point, the wolves start like nipping at each other and like fighting, but not really fighting. Just kind of like play fighting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The wolf, she likes that. She's 100%. We're doing this. She doesn't have any other wolves to play fight with. Usually, Ruan, if he sticks around, like that is what the wolf, Mia Wolf, is going to want to do. Like 100% of the time is just like play. And so now there are new wolves, and they're great, and they like her, and she likes them, and she's going to play with them like totally.
Zatant seems to be real interested in playing with you. And you're pretty evenly matched in terms of strength because those wrappings still apply to your strength as a wolf. So you're just like he nips at you and you just swat him with your head and he goes flying. And then he comes back and T'Chula and Mirla have kind of paired off on their own and are kind of off doing stuff. And You're getting a little bit tired, but still excited. And then Satant appears, and he looks at you, and he says, "So,
Is he speaking as a wolf or is he an elf now?
yep, as a wolf.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you have decided to join us.
Oh, no, I don't make the decisions. I'm gonna run with you, but then the half elf she makes the decisions.
I see." He turns back into his elf form. Big,
Oh.
muscular, naked elf man.
The wolf is gonna be a little like, oh, I wasn't well, okay, I did get a lot of time. I usually don't. So, and then she's gonna turn into the half elf and be like, and she always takes her clothes with her. So she is fully dressed.
Satant notices that, seems a little disappointed.
Her eyes are, she's definitely sort of like, okay, face is up there.
The best way to celebrate the passing of a life is with the creation of new life.
Well, I mean, I take herbs, so we couldn't actually. I mean, we could sort of pretend, but I wouldn't mind that.
You wouldn't mind that, or you would welcome that?
Well, that's much of a proposition. Sorry, dude. You're quite easy on the eyes, but I like to be courted a little bit.
Courted. What does this word mean?
It means that you show that you're interested in somebody else through compliments or gifts or spending time with them, but you're not just doing it to get in their bed. You're doing it because you like them, and also you'd like to get in their bed. So it's a little bit of a process.
This must be a city way.
Correct. I mean, if it's not something that is in your nature, I understand. I am very of the city. I'm trying to find the wildness in myself, but I'm never going to completely get there. I mean, you should know that.
I can help you find the wildness within yourself. I see it. I see power. I see lust for life and exploration, for freedom.
Yeah. But
you are very strange.
I wondered when we get there. Yeah, I kind of am.
I did not know how you would appear, but I see your heart, and I think your heart is strong.
Oh,
and that has drawn me to you.
You wanted me to do something, that my mother had left undone. Is that?
I have not the way with words that Cthulhu has, but the Lithari are few, and fewer every year. If you are willing, we would wish of you to come back with us and bear children for the Lithari. Your mother, she was a leader in the clan, the child of a leader, destined for great things. But she turned her back on that destiny. Would you do the same?
Wow. That's a lot. I do want children, but I don't. I can't be all wild. I'd like to find more of it, but I can't be all. It won't work. I would only. The most important thing to me is that any child of mine, I would never, ever, ever leave behind. Never. And if I couldn't do without the city and my children were all wild, what would that do to them? I couldn't do that to a child.
I see that your heart is decided, even if your mind is uncertain.
I think so. Does that mean I can never come? It's all or nothing?
Of course not.
No.
You can spend time with your clan, with your pack.
And
as much
you
as you wish.
You won't try to make me stay?
No. Why would we do that? The essence of the wild is freedom.
The city, when people know what they think you should be, then they try to make sure you can't leave and be anything else.
No. I would have you be yourself.
Well, that's very good courting. If you're still interested, even without children.
It is a strange thing to believe that pleasure is supposed to lead to children.
Well, that's been my life so far, is that it does not need to, but I didn't know. You'd said creating new life. So I was worried that
creating joy is creating life.
Well,
you do seem to be deprived of joy.
I don't know about quite that, but so she's sort of reached the edge of like what she can convey in words. And so she's going to turn into a wolf again.
Yep.
And sort of do a little bit of flirty body language, kind of like run a little and like look behind yourself, and then like kind of run slow a little bit more.
Yep.
Flick the tail.
Sure. Cool. Satan also turns into a wolf, and he runs off after you into the night. So, the following morning, you awaken back in Briarhouse. Well, in the garden. You sit up.
Yeah.
You have twigs in your hair.
Well, I mean, the wolf was like likes to sleep in the open air, so obviously.
Exactly. Feeling, well, not especially decided, like you didn't follow any of these paths.
Yeah.
But feeling maybe like yourself.
So, I think she has a plan. Mm-hmm. She's going to go see if she can find Ruan and Charity too.
Yep. Charity is making breakfast. And, Rumpus in the chat is like, and there's a half-eaten elf arm lying across the palms.
Oh, God. The wolf knows better than that.
Okay.
The wolf, the wolf knows to avoid Lilton. The half elf didn't.
So Charity's making breakfast, and Ruan is sitting there, sipping tea. He seems to have developed a taste for tea. In fact, and he says, "Ah, sister, good night."
Yeah, actually, um, it really was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so thanks.
Sips more tea.
I mean, I guess like I've never till I met Cecilia, I never had siblings, but I guess like that's a thing, like the like kind of like teasing, judging thing. That's what I've heard. So
That's what I've heard as well. Am I doing a good job?
yes. Um, so here's what I'm thinking. Um, they say I don't have to stay, and I can't. I can't stay there, but I think that I'm going to follow Marin's excellent idea and be indisposed until Westgate has a new crowmark. I'll need to speak to Ilra before I go so that I don't let her down about Silk's Dawn. But Charity, over the next few days, I will be sort of arranging for the house repairs to continue, and Simeon you'll get your money from him as you've been doing all along. And Artemisia like runs down a whole list of like other household stuff that she's worried about. And if Sturge comes back, make sure that he blah blah blah. Kalis, no open flames. Um, and if Stung, if he, if maybe Shiny and Mirabelle, hopefully they could like stop by and make sure they have a room. And so I'm gonna go off with my Cecilia, go off and sort of
Work on things.
work on
Ruan
things.
suggests.
Not with somebody, just on myself, work on me. And then I'll be back when the others are back.
Good. I couldn't help but notice that woman last night wanted you to be a ruler, some kind of queen, empress.
It's simple.
You already are.
Well, I mean, I don't relish telling people what to do, but I do like being able to take care of those who are important to me. So I guess that's one aspect. And
then I guess you sip tea with Ruan and strategize your adventures.
Yep.
And that seems like an excellent place to leave it. So thank you so much. Thank you to our lovely audience. I have been Eric Scott to be the DM of this campaign. We are between books, between book 3 and 4. And we're doing a bunch of one-shots and experimental games and short runs, and it's gonna be fun. And this has been my exceptionally talented, very clever, and excellent role-playing companion, Rhiannon Held. Thank you so much for your hard work as well. I want to remind people, before I kick it over to you, I want to remind people that we are giving away a book, The Ragged Magic, which is, I explained earlier, but it's full of intrigue and violence and danger and power games between people. It's going to be amazing. So check that out. There's a giveaway which I think we're going to do in just a second. So I also wanted to remind people that we are raising money for more character art. If you want to toss us a couple bucks on our Ko-fi, all these links will be down in the doobly-doo. We're raising money for the war in Ukraine. not to keep it going, but to stop the Russians. That would be excellent.
Yeah,
And
refugees.
also, we're constantly raising money in support of reproductive health and reproductive rights in America because, as I've said before, the Dungeon Scrawlers has been, will be, and always is a bastion of reproductive rights support. Those things are pivotal. Bodily autonomy is a thing, as may have been noted in this episode. And on that note, take it away, Rhiannon.
I've been Rhiannon Held. You can check out my books, other people's books, dungeonscrawlers.com. It's also got Artemisia's journals, those letter drafts. If you should like to read those are on dungeonscrawlers.com under Artemisia's journal. Thank you to our sponsor, Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms, and to North Foundry and Phoenix Dice, also great partners. To our moderators, Myrdug, Rumpus Imperator, Seldarine, and Shay Darksong. Don't know if everybody's here tonight, but those who are, thank you. And I think that is everything.
All right, it looks like we're closing the giveaways, so get in there soon.
You can no longer enter. There we go.
Oh boy. Hey, it looks like Timotheus won the giveaway with a very small chance.
Sacrifusion.
And then Sacrifusion has won
a book.
A book. Yes. It says has won has won the book, which is Rag and Magic. So congratulations. That's going to be amazing. Please stop in and tell us how it goes, how you liked it. Play it up for other people. We are the author stream. We like books. So yeah. And congratulations to our other winner, Timotheus, who won something.
The dice.
That was the dice. Okay.
Yeah.
You won the Rising from the Ashes Phoenix dice. Congratulations. I think you can go figure out a particular set that you want. Anyway, you will be getting communications from our team soon. Thank you so much. On that note,
Okay, I'll do our outro. Okay. Remember, I got the outro.
That's right.
Until next time, may your word counts and your dice rolls be equally high.